Hello everyone, today we will see how we can create a personal Microsoft Bookings page. So the first thing to do is navigate to your browser and go to office.com. Now from here, you should be able to locate this little waffle icon at the top part of your screen. If I click this, normally you should be able to locate Microsoft Bookings over here. In case you do not, simply navigate to the search bar and type bookings. And there we go. Now from here, you have the option to create a meeting type. You have the option to create actually a personal bookings page and a shared bookings page. Now for this video, we will only be creating personal bookings pages. So let's go ahead and create our meeting type. Now, if I click on this icon, I have the option to select a meeting type. For example, I want to make something like a discovery call. Let me fix that. There we go. Discovery call for Microsoft 365 training. Right underneath, you'll see that you have the option to select different categories. Now, in case you do not like any of those categories, you can simply select new category. And from here, you can choose your color and your name. And there we go. You can just hit save. For now, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to cancel and I'm going to place this discovery call in discovery calls. I also have the option to give this meeting a few details. Details about meeting. And right underneath, you'll see that I have the option to have a location in case this meeting is not going to be virtual. As you can see, I have this meeting to be via Microsoft Teams meetings. But in case you want this to be in person, you can simply deselect this and type the address, for example, etc. Now, right underneath, you will be able to find the discovery call duration. So you have the option to choose between 15 minutes and an hour. But if you don't like any of these options, select custom and you can select, for example, 35 minutes. And there we go. Additionally, you also have the option to set this meeting, let's say, public, so people will be able to view this type of meeting in your personal bookings page. But in case you select private, only people with a booking link will be able to view this meeting. Additionally, you have the option to select your schedule and of course customize it. So if I click on this icon, you'll see that I have the option to use my regular meeting hours and of course use some additional custom availability hours. Now, in case you do not know what your regular meeting hours are, or in case you want to change them, all you need to do is simply navigate to see regular meeting hours and you'll see it takes me to Microsoft Outlook. So from here you can check your work hours and of course you can always go ahead and customize them. For now, I'm not going to do this, so I'm going to close this and go back to meetings. And there we go. Now let's say that I want to use some custom availability hours. I'm going to select this and you'll see it gives me the option to choose any day that I like. Now let's say that I only want to be bookable on Sundays and Saturdays. So I'm going to select this plus icon. And yes, of course, you can go ahead and select the hours that you're going to be bookable. Let's also select Saturday. And since I do not want any of these days to be bookable, I'm going to hit the X button. And there we go. Now I can only be booked from Saturday to Sunday 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And also I have an additional option. So if I check this, I also have the option to be bookable during a specific time period. So let's say that I want to be bookable only from, let's say, the 7th of January until, let's say, the 30th of April. There we go. You can go ahead and choose this. For now, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to show you how you can do this. And we're going to proceed to the advanced options. Now, here we can see a lot of things. Now, first of all, I can see how my meeting looks like over here. But you see that I have this buffer time before the meeting, which practically means, let's say that I want like 5-10 minutes to prepare for this meeting. I'm going to select this. Let's say that I want 10 minutes. I'm going to use 10 minutes. And as you can see, this is going to be my buffer time before the meeting. And you can see it's represented here. Now, I also have the option to choose some buffer time after the meeting. Now, let's say that I am meeting after meeting and I need to get some rest. I can choose, for example, 15 minutes after the meeting as buffer time. Once again, you will see it's represented here. So I have the 10 minutes buffer time before the meeting, the actual meeting, and the 15 minutes buffer time after the meeting. Now, another thing you can do is you can limit your start time in specific intervals. Now, let's say that I want to give my customers a little bit more option. So I'm going to select 15-minute intervals. I also have the option to select minimum lead time and maximum lead time. For example, here, let's select minimum lead time 2 days before, because maybe I want to be prepared for these discovery calls. Now, if I select here 1 hour or 8 hours, I think this is going to be very difficult for me to take this call. Maybe I have other things planned. So I think 1 day or 2 days before the actual meeting, I am open to being bookable. And this is exactly what minimum lead time means. I also have the option to select the maximum lead time. So I can select, for example, from 7 days, or I can select up to, let's use, for example, 90 days. There we go. People are going to be able to view the bookings or book me up to 90 days before. I also have the option to have email reminders, and I can hit this button. And for example, I want to send, let's say, a reminder 1 day before. So I'm going to type something. Please do not forget about our meeting tomorrow, or something like that. I'm going to save the changes, and there we go. They're going to get a reminder 1 day before my meeting. I also have the option to edit this or even delete this with the bin icon. Another thing I could do is I can set a follow-up email. So if I select this, I'm going to hit, for example, 30 minutes after our meeting, I'm going to send something like a follow-up email. I'm going to type something like, thank you for your time today, or something like that. Maybe next steps or something. I'm going to show the changes, and once again you can edit it or delete it. Now all you need to do is simply navigate to the top and hit save. And there we go. This is our meeting. Now, as you can see, I have set it as a private meeting, and I have set it at 35 minutes. Now, if I click here on the stack of paper and paste it somewhere in the browser, you'll see that nothing actually appears. But this is because we have set this as a private appointment, and only the person that has actually booked us will be able to see this. So if I go back to my meetings and the three ellipses, I can choose to make this public. Of course, I also have some additional options. I have the option to copy this meeting, copy a single use link. I can go ahead and duplicate this meeting, of course, delete it. For now, I'm going to make this public so you can see how it looks like. As you can see now, it changed to public. And if I go and copy this, I'm going to paste it, and you will see that now it looks like that. And it gives me a calendar when I am going to be bookable. And this also takes the buffer time into consideration. Another thing you can do is you can filter by availability or within meeting hours and by time zone. Now let's go back to our bookings page. Now another thing I can do is I can go to three ellipses and I have the option to change my banner image. So for example, I may choose something different like this orange one and hit confirm. And this is going to update my personal bookings page. Another thing I can do is I can turn off my bookings page completely. But if I press this, you'll notice that I get this little grayish banner and I get this notification. Now, let's say that I'm done now and I want to republish it. All I need to do is simply select Publish Booking Page. And there we go. Now, another thing we can do here is I can go ahead and share this meeting and I'm going to copy or, email this to someone. Once again, if I go to share, I have the option to copy the link, share by email, and if I select this email signature setting, you'll see that I have the option to include this in my signature and of course hit save. Now actually let's go ahead and copy our meeting, and because I want to show you how it looks like. So as you can see now we have updated our banner and this is the options we get. Now let's say that I want to book myself on the 29th here, and I'm going to choose to be booked at 11:55. I'm going to hit next and I'm going to give, for example, the name, the emails and the notes. For example, I'm going to type test 1 and book. By default, it auto-completes my name and my email. And I do not have the option to change it. So let's go ahead and book this. And there we go. Now let me go to my Outlook. And there we go. This is the booking we just did. And I get the confirmation for the actual booking. And this is how it should look like for the other people. They have the option to simply click join your appointment, open via Microsoft Teams, and there we go. So this is how it looks like for them.